Leila Gharani, Kat Norton, thank you both so much for being here today. Great to have you here. And it's also the first time the two of you have met, as I understand it, albeit virtually. So thank you for letting us all be a sort of fly on the wall for that experience as well. If you'll allow me to do a kind of very brief intro, you are two, I would say, genuine sort of stars of our industry, the sort of data modeling industry, training industry. You've got enormous followings on social media. You've both got these successful training businesses that sit in the background and essentially allow your followers the chance to upskill themselves if they want to in particular areas. So I've got some questions about business and hopefully we get the chance to get to know you both a little bit better. I thought I would just start by asking you both, how are you? Where are you? And what have you been up to for the last couple of weeks with New Year's and the holiday season? So Leila, I'll hand over to you first, perhaps.
Okay, so yeah, I'm doing great. I've been getting a lot of sleep recently, so that's good. And I'm in Austria, and in the holidays, we went to visit my parents-in-law, and with the kids, and just take some time off, chill, read some books, relax. Yeah, it's really nice, except it's really, really cold. So it was like minus 10 degrees here, centigrade, and it's
wow,
pretty cold. Then it warmed up a bit, so now we're just enjoying some sun. But yeah, we're just taking it easy because on Monday we're back at work.
Good stuff. And same to you, Kat. How are you? Where are you? That might be an interesting question for you because you could be anywhere in the world, I understand it, as a digital nomad. And what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so everything's been great. I'm out in Arizona this month. So I'm down in Scottsdale, and then we leave for Austin, Texas next week. So I've been bouncing around, but it was really nice. We stayed in Arizona for the holidays and just hung out. I finally got some relaxation time in between the holidays, which was really nice. And just out here with my boyfriend, renting houses.
Amazing. All right. So this has kind of come together because you're both involved in the Global Excel Summit. So Leila, I know you're an ambassador as well as a speaker. Kat, you're speaking. So what can attendees expect to hear from you about during that event? Maybe Kat will turn to you first.
Yeah, so my event is about productivity hacks in Excel. So I'm rounding up some of my favorite tricks and putting them all in there.
Fantastic. Same for you, Leila. What are you doing? What are you going to be talking about?
Yeah, I don't know yet. So I don't know yet. That's why I asked on LinkedIn, my audience, like, what should I be talking about? And there's a trend about Power Query, like the new power side of Excel and how things have changed in the recent years. So I think that's going to be my topic, but I haven't exactly laid it out. But don't worry, I will do it in time.
Excellent. Yeah, there's still time. It should be a great event. The speaker lineups are incredible.
I'm looking forward actually to a lot of those sessions. So I've already blocked out my time so I can attend myself and learn a lot.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. So let's talk a little bit about business. You at the kind of surface level, you both have very similar business models, I guess. Leila, you've got, I think, over 1.4 million subscribers on your YouTube channel now. You've got Xelplus that sits in the background. Kat, you've got a similar number of followers across TikTok and Instagram, and you've got this sort of package of courses that people can buy alongside that. Leila, I think you've been doing this about 6 years now, and you were an economist by trade originally, and then a SAP consultant at one point. Could you kind of talk us through that journey, the transition to a business owner? And was there any particular sort of feeling that kind of drove you to take that sort of leap into the unknown originally?
I started as an economist in Canada, and it wasn't anything planned. Like when I went to school, it wasn't like I want to be an economist. It was just like I was good at economics, and my teachers were like, you should do that. You should continue that. And I was like, okay, why not? I'll just do that. So then I did that. Then I started to work as an economist. And then when I actually started the work, I realized I don't really like it because we had to do a lot of research and a lot of writing, and I'm not a fan of writing. So when I did economics, I liked the econometrics side of it. I liked the statistics side, but then I didn't like the research side. Then I realized, okay, it's better if I shift to consulting. And then that was the point that I moved back to Austria, and I started to work for a company where I did in-house consulting. And that was where I learned a lot about like process improvement and VBA and Excel. So, as an economist, that was when I first saw Excel, because in university, we didn't have Excel at the time. It's like a very long time ago. So, yeah. So I started learning VBA as a consultant, because there I realized we had the ability to create like really nice tools for the, for the subsidiaries that we were consulting, and they were better. Those tools were better with VBA, with adding some automation. And I learned everything from the internet, from blog posts and so on, and reading some books. And and after a while, I made myself independent in the meanwhile, but I think I was too young at the time. So I was always a bit scared, and there was always this risk of, not finding the next thing, like going from one client to another. So I decided to go back and work as an employee on a new project that was an Oracle project at the time. And then after that, I switched to SAP, working on SAP projects, and then back to Oracle, and switching from finance to IT divisions. And then in the end, I decided, okay, now it's time. Now I'm ready to take the leap and work as a teacher. So I wanted to teach and do consulting. That was the idea. But I didn't really have any business model. Like I didn't think like I want to reach that, or I just wanted to do consulting and teaching. That was the idea. And then after a year of doing that, then everything slowly transitioned to the internet, I started with one course, and I realized, oh, this could work. I could have a bigger audience this way, and I don't have to depend on, getting the next thing and having the next client and so on. So it was nice to have some passive income. And then it just went from there.
I can see Kat nodding so much as well. I suspect that sounds like a familiar kind of experience that we'll talk about. Leila, and as well, I've taken some of your training courses, and the production quality of everything you share is just out of this world. So I'm kind of intrigued. What does that production process look like for you, and how much time does it take? Is it something that you've kind of refined year by year? And is it still you that's doing all of this behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible production quality if you look back to the to the first videos. I had no idea about this stuff, like no idea, because I see Kat's videos, even the first videos I think that you did, like you're just perfect from the beginning. Mine are like a disaster. So yeah, it was a lot of just learning, because I knew I knew kind of what I wanted, but whatever I did, I couldn't get there. It just didn't look like the way I wanted it to look, even though like I had the right. I started with my iPhone, but later when I invested in a camera, I had the camera, I had the equipment, but I couldn't get them to work. I couldn't get the camera to make me look good. There could be other issues, but yeah. So it took a lot of learning, a lot of tutorials. I tried to do it myself at the beginning, and then I hired someone to help me out. And I think he was the first person that helped us with the quality of the camera side. And then after that, so only in 2019, then we hired a full-time editor who really then took everything to the next level, because that was also a problem for me to like outsource the editing. I didn't know if they understand where to cut. Like, would they know, do they need to know Excel when they're editing an Excel thing, or, which editor knows Excel? So that's why I prefer to do it myself at the beginning. But, we have a great editor now, and it all took a lot of learning.
Yeah.
Testing, experimenting.
Awesome, thank you. And Kat, I don't really know what words to use to describe your last 18 months, but you created Miss Excel after the start of lockdown. It dawned on me when I was thinking about this conversation that in the first 3 months of lockdown, I think my greatest achievements were sort of burning my head twice in the sun and resubscribing to Netflix. And in the same period, you'd created Miss Excel, gone viral on TikTok, started earning a passive income that was equal or more than anything you'd earned as an employee. I mean, it's insane. Could you just talk us through that starting journey, with lockdown and where Miss Excel came from?
Yeah, absolutely. So Leila, I resonated so much with your story just there. Like similar, I started off in consulting. I was doing securitization reviews for banks. And that was kind of my day-to-day. Every week, every Monday, I would hop on a plane and fly to a different state in the US. And I did that straight for 3.5 years. And then I did a year of like consulting out of our New York City office. And I found myself in this place where I was like, this isn't lighting me up, but I don't know what does. I was like, I found myself at the start of the pandemic. I stopped traveling for work. I'm in my childhood bedroom of my parents' house. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life right now? And that's where I started really going inward and trying to figure out, what do I like to do? I got really into meditating and just trying to figure myself out. And then I made a list one day. I was like, what are all the things I love? I love Excel. I love to help people. I love to dance. And I wrote them all down. And I was like, okay, maybe I can combine all these things somehow, some way into my dream job. And then I was on the phone with my friend one day, and we were talking about like side hustles and businesses and things I could do like from my house during the pandemic. And she was like, what if you put the Excel tricks on TikTok? And I was like, TikTok, I can't make a TikTok. I'm 27. I had this whole like block against it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try. Because when she said it, I got the vision of the Excel screen above my head. And I'm like, I don't know how to video edit. I don't know how to get an Excel screen above my head right now. But I was like, all right, I'm just going to give it a try. And then I tested it out and was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good. It was that Drake song, left foot up, right foot slide to the left and the right function. I'm like, all right, this looks pretty cool. So then I made my first like 10 videos and I started putting out one a day. And then by the 4th video, it reaches 100,000 views and gets pushed to all these people I know. And I didn't tell anybody I was doing this besides my mother and my boyfriend. So it's just very low key. But then all of a sudden it was being pushed to like people I worked with. And then I think it was the 6th video, the CEO of an IT company had reached out to me and was like, hey, I love your teaching style. I'm looking to create training videos in G Suite products for students, parents, and teachers. So this is when all the schools were going digital. And clearly I'm more of a Microsoft gal, but I'm like, all right, the products are similar. I'll brush up on my like Google products. So I formed an LLC, got a green screen, a ring light, shipped it all to my childhood bedroom. I moved the furniture out of the way. And I was doing my day job during the day and then recording videos and selling them back to this guy at night. And then I was still making the Miss Excel content at that point. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's helping people. And then within a few weeks, it went like viral, reached like, I think it was 3.6 million views on that video. And then I looked at my phone and I had 100,000 followers on TikTok. And I was like, I don't know how to do any of these influencer things. Like if you looked at my personal Instagram account before this, I had less than 1,000 followers. I really didn't use Instagram or TikTok at all before this. So I was like, all right, we're going to learn here. And so then I added in an Instagram account a few weeks later because everything was going on in the news about TikTok being banned in the US. So I'm like, all right, better make an Instagram too, And then the Instagram went viral and the whole thing just started like picking up more. And then I made my first course. It was Black Friday of 2020 was when I like first started selling my Excel course. I took like 2 weeks off from my day job and was like, I'm on vacation. And I'm like really, in my living room filming all these videos and things. And I was editing every single one, very similar to you, Leila, where like it was hard to figure out, like, does someone need to know Excel, like to be able to edit the videos? Like I was still kind of in the same mindset. It's amazing you found a great editor. And I was sitting there like, okay, I'm just going to edit these, get these out. And then by January, it was doing more money passively than my day job was per month. And I was like, okay, I think I need to reevaluate my life because the day job was taking 40, 50 hours a week and some of my sanity away. So I ended up quitting my day job. It was February 1st was my last day. It was funny because like half the people I worked with knew that I had Miss Excel and then half of them had no idea. So I was like, hey, Steve, do you know about me on the internet? Like, it was a time. Yeah. And then the whole thing's been just kind of scaling from there. But it's been really nice to be able to do this full time.
It's amazing. And I know your mindset is, firstly, you've got so much energy on your videos, but the mindset thing for you is it's not an accident, is it? There's a really good story I read from you where you turned to your mum 2 months before you'd thought of Miss Excel and basically said, get ready, I'm going to be rich and famous. So we probably haven't got time to go to too much of it, but can you give us a bit of an insight as to where that comes from?
Yeah. So I dove really deep into spiritual work starting in like March. I was doing like inner child work, subconscious reprogramming, like really just diving into what limiting beliefs that I had that were keeping me small. I grew up with an anxiety disorder. I was super shy, so really like going in there and trying to figure out like, why am I playing it small right now? And then I got myself to this place where it was April and I didn't create the business till June. I turned to my mother and was like, Mom, I'm going to be rich and famous soon. So I need you to prepare your nervous system for that. And she's cracking up. And I was laughing too, but I'm like, I everything in me just knows something huge is going to happen. I have no idea what it is, but something's going to happen.
That's incredible. So looking forward to the rest of 2022, I guess, for both of you, what can people expect from your social media channels, from your training businesses? You neither of you seem to sit still at any point. I think, Leila, you've been branching into Power BI recently, and Kat, you've gone beyond Excel. So, Leila, what's your sort of plan for the rest of the calendar year?
We were just doing our plan last week during the holidays. Well, one thing is to create a Power BI course. That's one thing. We're also working on a financial analyst course. Nice. And also marketing, writing, self-improvement courses for me, because, one thing I don't like is writing, but writing is really necessary when you're selling things. Like you just have to, or, when you want to, create a landing page or something, like you have to be able to describe what the course is. And what the benefits are. So this is something that I want to work on to improve my writing.
I saw you with a traction book on Instagram. How did you finish that? What did you think of traction?
No, I'm still in halfway through. Yeah. But we're actually like doing the work as I'm reading the book. So we're doing the exercises.
Great stuff. And Kat, same to you. So what's your plan for the rest of the calendar year?
Yeah. So a lot of this stuff I can't even really plan. Like I'm usually able to plan a quarter out, but I couldn't have even predicted the things that have happened so quickly, like since I started doing these things. So I always kind of leave it, a little bit fluid. But I know for right now, I'm finishing out suite of Microsoft courses, just getting those cleaned up. I still have a few out there outstanding that I've been working on this week. So getting those out. And then also I might step into business coaching soon. So I've been getting a lot of inquiries about people being like, how'd you grow your business online and things like that. And something I'm really passionate about teaching too, with entrepreneurship and all the energy stuff. So that's something I might branch out into too if I end up having some free time later next year.
Okay, amazing. A couple more questions, and then one request, a personal request. So firstly, Leila, you kind of touched on this earlier, but when you started out in your own business, did you have a kind of target in your head? And I don't know whether that would be a target of followers, subscribers, monetary, kind of how you get to spend your time. But A, did you have one? If you've reached it, what does it kind of feel like to be there and be in this position where you have, numbers in the millions looking at what you do? Because I suppose that's one area for anyone watching. It's hard to imagine what that makes you feel like. Does it give you a sense of confidence or pride, or is there some sort of stress or pressure that comes with, getting to this kind of level of popularity, I guess? Go to you, Leila.
Yeah, so in terms of vision, if I had any vision, no, I didn't have. So that's why I have traction now to get a vision. But no, I didn't have anything. It's just, I had a different vision. My first step was to do consulting, right? So I had no monetary. The only monetary thing was that I should make enough, like at least what I was making as an employee. I should be making that as a consultant. That was my only expectation. Then it slowly changed, and it was different events that made that change. There was one where I was sick. I got the flu for a month. Like I was sick. I couldn't do any consulting. I couldn't do any teaching. And that made me think, okay, I don't have income. An entire month is gone. So that's why I should maybe think of some passive way. And with teaching, I can do it online as well, and I can pre-record the videos. So that's how it started with the online side. And then every year we set up, like I knew what I was going to do that year. So I would be like, okay, this year I want to do VBA course. Next year I want to do that course. And I started, like the first course I chose to do was the course that I knew doesn't have much demand, but I felt most comfortable doing it. So it was charts, Excel charts. And I really liked charts at the time. And I was training businesses with those charts. So it was the easiest for me to do, but I knew it has the least demand in the Excel side was that. But it helped me get over the bond, like the problem of filming and audio and just do it because I was comfortable with the topic. Yeah. And then after that, I started YouTube just so that I can get better at doing videos, because I really was bad at that. Like it was different talking to a camera and talking to a screen than talking to people. Yeah. So that was how YouTube started. And with YouTube, I had no goals. The only thing was that if someone found my video and they learned something, that would be great. That was my that was my goal. But slowly, I think it was once I reached like 200 or 300 people that I thought, wow, it's possible that I could reach 1,000. Like that became a possibility. And then we decided, okay, then let me just do videos for YouTube. And it helps build the community. It helps me get ideas for my courses, like what topics people are interested in. And that slowly grew. And then, I thought, okay, let's reach 100,000 subscribers. But honestly, I never thought we would go beyond that, like 100,000. I thought that was the limit for my topic on YouTube.
Got it.
But yeah, it was amazing to see that so many people are interested in, educating themselves on YouTube. And it's not just for fun and entertainment or just like productivity videos, but also like technical Excel videos. And I mean, nothing's really changed. It's just like, when you look forward to like buying something, that whole looking forward to it is the exciting part. And then when you buy it, you just have it. So it's kind of like that with reaching 1 million. Once we saw that it's a possibility, it was just looking forward to that was the exciting part. And once you reach it, it's like, okay, but my life is the same. Nothing's changed. We're doing the same videos. Yeah, I mean, quality is now an issue. So we have to make sure we have the same quality, and but it's not really pressure. We got it to work, so it should be okay.
And the speed, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that you did your really, really cool kind of hour-long video for celebrating crossing 1 million, and now already it's 1.4. It's incredible how fast it just goes up. That was a great video, by the way. It was so good.
Thank you. It's quite embarrassing.
Kat, have you had a marriage proposal yet? That was one thing, Leila.
With email, all with email. I haven't had. I haven't seen really pictures, and they come through Excel. Maybe they're hidden in formulas. I have to dig deeper.
Also, and Kat, same question to you then. So what's that been like? Did you have a vision at the beginning? Are you there? Do you even stop to think about it, or do you just look to 2 million and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of went into this whole thing with no expectations, which I think is what helped it grow pretty quickly, because I didn't go into it like, I need this to like quit my job and do this, where I feel like a lot of people when they start businesses are going into it from a place of like, I need this to work, where I was just kind of like, well, I'm bored. I'm in my room right now. Like, I want to help some people with Excel. I'll try making a TikTok. It was like a very like, this will be fun for me. And then once it started growing, I was like, oh, wow, like this could actually be a business. So I really just kind of went into it with no expectations and just have been flowing with it, seeing where the demand is and kind of just navigating as it grows.
Awesome. All right. So final question, then the request. The question is, if you could give yourself, when you started out, one piece of advice, or somebody watching this that's looking to sort of follow in your footsteps, I guess more as a business owner, like taking that leap from employment or contracting work into setting up their own business, what would that be? And Leila, I'll go back to you first.
Well, my piece of advice is, like, do it. Just do it. Don't overthink it. But obviously, I mean, if you're thinking of quitting your job to do something that is risky or you're not sure, like, to do it on the side, like Kat did, like to do it on the side. And I know people say like, I don't have time, but there's always time. You can always find that extra 1 hour, either in the morning, in the evening, at some point, and every hour counts. So just to try it out, do it, because you might find that you don't even like it, right? You don't like, the actions that you have to do for your other job. So, don't overthink it. Do it.
Perfect. And Kat, same to you.
I love that. So that's like very similar to what I would have said, like in terms of messy action. I love the thought of doing it on the side. And then something else too is paying attention to any limiting beliefs that are coming up, where if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I want to do that, but I can't because XYZ. That is your roadmap of what to work through to get where you want to go. So like those blocks that pop up are the best learning tools. And it's essentially a roadmap showing you what you can work through to get yourself to the goal that you're looking at. So a lot of people let those thoughts like limit them, but instead I would challenge them and dive into them, be like, why do I feel that way? Yeah. And then go in and clear that out.
I get the feeling that that's a sneak peek into some of your coaching that might be coming up a bit later down the line.
Kat, I have a question. So was it difficult for you to leave your job?
I had like limiting beliefs back there. I definitely did. Because I remember like talking to my parents about it. And a lot of people were like, 401k, health insurance, what are you going to do? Like that was what I had ringing in the back of my head. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, But I really like everything in me was like, this is what I want for my life. Like I dreamed of being able to take my laptop into a coffee shop and just work for myself. Like that was all I wanted to do. I was like daydreaming about it. Like, so I knew it was going to come eventually, but that day, it was so funny. So I had a business coach turn to me and was like, what are you doing at that day job? And I was like, oh, it's benefits, this, that. She was like, you need to quit, and we're going to set a deadline for you to quit by. And I was like, ooh. And we had a deadline out for like 3 weeks later. And 2 days after that phone call, I hang up the phone. It was like Friday morning. It's like 10 a.m. I made some waffles. I looked down, was like, today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to quit my job. And I had never quit a job before. This was the same company I'd worked through out of college. So I was just like, how do I do this? And I remember like pinging my managing director on our like system, being like, hey, can we talk? And then once I called him, I had to call like 30 other people and just kind of explain. But it ended up being the best day. I was ordering in food all day. I was just like on the phones all day talking about Miss Excel. So it ended up being fun, but it was a little scary just on the come up to that for sure.
I bet. Amazing. And we didn't really touch on it, but you're a digital nomad. So you essentially travel and work. And could you talk to us a little bit about what it is you do? Are you moving kind of month by month, or is it something else?
Yeah. So that was kind of my dream with this whole thing. A big part of what I wanted was geographical freedom.
Yeah.
And I'd been traveling every week for work. So I'd love to travel, but I wanted to essentially like create a home base in each place that we went. So I could still kind of like get grounded and not feel like all over the place, but experience different cities and things. So I started this in October of 2020. We started traveling, and we've done, Sedona, Arizona is our favorite place. That's where we're looking to buy a house early next year. Super excited. And then we've done San Diego, Hawaii, Texas, just kind of like bouncing all over Florida. Just really experiencing different places, but we just keep ending back up in Arizona, in Sedona. Like I think I spent 8 of the 12 months there because it's just where we love. So that's eventually where we're going to be landing.
Sounds incredible.
Nice.
All right. So I have a personal request then. So this is the most important question from a selfish perspective. I think it would be a travesty if this was the last time we saw the two of you in a video together. So my cheeky request, putting you on the spot, is would you do a sort of Miss Excel and Leila Gharani video, collaboration video at some point? And Leila, to really put you on the spot, I think that should involve you trying the Miss Excel dance. What do you think to that?
I think I need to fly out there and come to Austria. We could do this thing.
That would be good. Yeah. And I mean, the dance, I mean, we have the similar taste in music, I have to say. So
yes,
that's covered. But I think the video would be like too viral for the internet. It might break the internet.
I think we would break the internet for sure.
We can't do that. We need people to learn Excel online. We can't break it.
I'll take that as a maybe. All right. Was there anything, before we kind of rounded off, was there anything you two just wanted to kind of say to each other without me getting involved?
I have something. Okay. What I love about your videos, Kat, is that you are always so happy. You're like, you are energetic. It comes across like you are smiling. I don't think there is a video of you where you're not smiling. And how do you do that?
I really got myself to a place of like deep inner happiness before I went in and did this. Like, I don't think I was ever truly happy in my life until I like got on this path a couple years ago. I was like kind of happy, but I wasn't really, like in it. And then I think that's where it really started coming through. And then before I make the videos, I obviously get myself hyped up. We got to get that energy to come through, so I do some energy work on the side, but it's like just trying to radiate happiness. I do that before I go into a room sometimes. I'm like, I'm sunshine. I'm just going to radiate sunshine and just like kind of come in with that. And it's funny. Sometimes people will call you out on it. I've had people come up to me and be like, you're like sunshine. I'm like, And also, I just want to say thank you so much for having me here. You are a complete inspiration, Leila. I've been watching your stuff for years. I love everything you do, and I'm just so grateful for you and so grateful for your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you both so much. Yeah, I think what you've just said, Kat, as well, you know, being kind of happy, but not fully happy. I bet that's going to resonate with almost everybody. So yeah, I mean, you're both kind of inspiring. So I wish you all, or both of you, the best of luck for the rest of the year, and can't wait to see what else you produce and share with us. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Leila. Thank Kat.